ride the little train that is rolling down the tracks to the junction. Forget about your cares, it is time to relax at the junction. Lots of curves, you bet, and even more when you get to the junction.
Petticoat Junction.
There's a little hotel called the Shady Rest at the junction.
Petticoat Junction.
It is run by Joe. Come and be his guest at the junction.
Petticoat Junction.
Here's our lady M.D. She's as pretty as can be at the junction. Petticoat Junction.
Banker's hours. Get a load of that.
Wow, what's this for?
A bonus from Mr. Campbell.
You finished spraying his crop? Aren't you ahead of schedule?
Well, you're looking at a young man in a hurry. And I expect a little homage.
Well, I'm embarrassed, Your Highness. I don't think the leftover lamb stew, which I am about to warm up, is worthy of the occasion.
His Highness doesn't think so either.
Funny.
Oh, don't get me wrong. Well, you're on the top of my list when it comes to one of the all-time great leftover lamb stew warmer-uppers.
No.
Hmm?
Well, didn't it ever occur to you that you might be going to kiss someone?
Who? Now, forget about all this. We're celebrating. We're going to fly up to Riverdale and have dinner at our favorite restaurant.
The one with a little brook flowing through it.
The soft music, the candlelight, our special little corner. Come on, get into something that'll do a crop dusting tycoon some credit.
Steve!
Huh?
You can't go. The baby.
The baby.
Our baby, Kathy Jo.
Oh, her. Can't we get a babysitter?
Honey, I wouldn't think of having anyone sit with our baby.
Never.
Never.
You mean we're going to be stuck here in this house for 21 years?
Really? I mean, until she's a little bit older.
Oh.
Oh, honey, I know how you feel. If you want to go alone, it's all right with me.
Oh, fine. I'd look just great sitting there in the candlelight and the soft music and whispering sweet nothings in my ear. Oh, hi, Dr. Craig. Come on in.
Hello, Steve. I'm just making my last and favorite house call of the day.
Well, come right this way. The little party pooper's in here.
Don't mind him, Janet. He's a bit put out. Oh?
Well, hold it. Maybe you can help us.
Well, I'd be glad to if I can.
Well, Betty Jo and I have just been going round and round.
Steve, I don't think we should involve Dr. Craig with this.
Honey, it's not like dragging her into a family quarrel or washing our dirty laundry in public. I'd just like to have a professional opinion from Dr. Craig.
All right.
Well, it's no big deal, but I wanted to take Betty Jo to dinner tonight. And now we're not going to go because of the baby.
Well, it's just that I don't feel right about leaving her with a sitter at this age.
And maybe she's right. But I just thought an evening out would do us both good. Now, what do you think, Doc?
Well, at times like this, I wish I were a politician so that I could answer you in double talk and keep you both happy.
Well, don't worry about us. We're both mature enough to accept whatever you say.
Good. Well, frankly, in this case, I'm inclined to side with Steve.
Whoops. We just blew our maturity.
Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing more important than being a dedicated mother and father, but, well, parents have an obligation to themselves, too, and they should make a point of getting away at times.
Okay, you win.
Honey, it'll work out great. We can get your sisters to watch Kathy Jo.
Well, Billy Joe's out of town, but I guess Bobby Joe's available.
Well, now, it's just a suggestion, but why don't you bring the baby over to the hotel? And that way you'd have Bobby Joe and your Uncle Joe and myself to look after the baby.
There you go. babysitting and deck. Or they can use the platoon system.
Good idea. We'll do that.
Okay.
What a stupid editorial. He should have printed it in the comic section.
Did Dan Drucker write something again you don't approve of?
No, the editor of that Pixley-Picayune. He's all in favor of that watershed control bill.
Well, I thought it was a good thing. Won't it help the crops?
Yeah, but it'll ruin the fishing and Lost Lake.
I can see that. But it seems to me that anything that will help the crops is pretty important.
Bobby Joe, let me ask you a question. Now, would you rather have a bunch of parsnips or a creel full of gold and brown trout?
Guess what? We are going to have company this evening.
Sam Drucker coming over to freeload again?
No, not quite. Our honored guest is going to be Kathy Jo Elliott. I volunteered our services as babysitters.
Betty Jo is actually going to let us take care of her baby?
Oh, I assured her she'd be in good hands. 6 good hands.
I just can't believe it. She's so fussy.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Last time I was over there, she made me wear a mask and put on a pair of rubber gloves. And that was just to pick up a teddy bear.
Hi, everybody. Here's Mommy and Daddy and friends. Careful, sweetheart. That's right. Don't drop anything. That's sweet. That's right.
What'd they do, evict you?
Oh, these are all the things for the baby.
I tried to explain to her that the baby's just here for the evening. You're not adopting her.
Everything we brought is necessary.
Honey, I've gone on a bivouac for a month with less stuff than this.
I can hardly wait to see her. Oh, all this.
Hi, sweetie. This is your Aunt Bobby Jo. Can I hold her?
Okay, but be careful.
Are there any last-minute instructions from the little mother?
A few. I wrote them down. I've got them right here in my purse.
Good.
Let's see. Here we are. I didn't realize the list was quite this long.
You have that bound, and you'll have a bestseller.
I thought it was important to spell everything out. Now, let's see. There's the formula, and the time for feeding, and the burping. Oh, when you burp her, be sure to hold her like this, and pat her just above the... Oh, that's right. You're being a doctor. I guess you'd know about things like this.
I'm sure we'll get on beautifully.
Honey, could we...
Oh, and if she should cry. Oh, I'm sure she won't. She's such a good baby. But in case she should, I generally hum a few bars to her.
I'm sure the troops have had their orientation.
Now, look, you run along, have a wonderful time, and just don't worry about a thing.
Thanks, and we'll be back around midnight.
Midnight? Oh, honey, I don't think we should abandon the baby that long.
Abandon?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. I'm a new mother.
Oh, honey, there you went and told them.
Thank you. Bye. Bye, Uncle Joe.
Hi, Bobby Joe.
Hi, Jeff. Look what I've got. Oh, Jeff, this is Dr. Craig.
Hi, Dr.
How
Craig.
do you do? I'm very glad to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And you know Uncle Joe.
Oh, yeah.
Would you like to hold her?
Oh, no, thanks.
Oh, go on. She won't bite. Oh, Jeff, you make a wonderful-looking father.
I do?
Don't you think so, Dr. Craig?
Another Mr. Beardsley.
Bobby Joe, I'd love to hold the baby all night. But we gotta get going, huh?
Going? Where?
Don't tell me you forgot. Tonight's our bowling night.
Oh, that's right. Well, is there some way we can cancel out?
Oh, we couldn't possibly do that. Tonight we're in the finals. We're gonna play the dairy.
Dairy? I thought we played them before.
Well, we did, but that was the buttermilk section. Tonight we're going against cottage cheese and chives.
Golly, I don't know. My sister was kind of counting on me taking care of the baby.
Oh, look, Bobby Joe, if you want to go, you run along. Or we can look after the baby, can't we? Can't we, Uncle Joe?
Oh, sure. No problem. No problem at all.
Well, okay. I'll be right with you, Jeff.
Here, now. Here, hold her for me for just a minute, will you, while I warm up her formula?
Sure. Boy, feeling them arms. I can see it now. Little League, Pony League, semi-pro, majors, finally the World Series.
Mr. Carson, I thought that was a girl.
Well, what difference does it make, as long as she can knock that old apple over the fence?
Calling Riverdale. Come in, Riverdale. What's the matter?
I just don't feel right about going off without the baby.
Oh, honey, we've got everybody in the hotel looking after her.
Yeah, I guess it is silly of me.
Right. Come in, Riverdale.
Okay. For the rest of the night, I'll dismiss everything else from my mind and just concentrate on you.
Yes, Riverdale. Steve Elliott, Hooterville. My ETA is 2000. Request weather, wind, and velocity. Check. Roger now. Now what?
I never noticed before how much you look like the baby.
That reminds me, it's getting to be almost snack time. Any of that blackberry cobbler left you made for supper?
Yes, there's some in the icebox.
Boy, look at her put that stuff away. What an appetite. Where do you think she gets that?
It could be hereditary.
No, I doubt it. Steve and Betty Jo ain't much when it comes to putting chow away. Well, get me some of that cobbler.
Doctor, I'm so glad I found you in. I think my Henry broke his ankle.
Oh, how did it happen?
He fell off the wagon.
Serves him right for hitting the jug.
Mr. Carson, it was a hay wagon. He and the boy were putting away hay for the winter, and the horse bolted.
Well, I'll be right with you.
Thank you. Oh, isn't she darling?
Yeah. Who do you think she looks like?
Well, she has the Bradley nose and the Bradley mouth and chin.
Don't you see any Carson in her?
Yes, the way she's laying down.
Uncle Joe, I'm sure you won't have any problem with the baby.
Huh? Oh, no, we'll get along okay.
Come on, Mrs. Finch, let's go. I'll see you later.
Way she's laying down. I wonder where she could have got an idea like that.
Honey, we're out for a good time. Will you please quit thinking about the baby?
Honey, I'm not thinking about the baby.
Kathy Jo, will you stop crying long enough for me to find out what you're bawling about? She's hungry. No, she's had her bottle. Stuck by safety pins. No, it can't be that. Gas on stomach. Kathy Jo, by any chance, would you have gas? Oh, forget it.
Oh, Joe, Sam Drucker sent me down. Say, what's that? A baby crying?
No, it's the cuckoo clock. She got her tail feathers caught in the door, and she's been screaming her head off ever since. What do you think it is?
Oh, it is a baby. Chicky, chicky, chickoo.
Wendell, do you know any way to stop it? Hey, she stopped crying.
Oh, Joe, Sam wants you up at the store right away. They're having an emergency meeting on that watershed control bill.
Well, Wendell, I can't leave here now.
If we don't meet tonight, it'll be too late. It comes up before the county commissioners the first thing in the morning.
Well, that's no good. Brisbane, Sneed, and that Pixley bunch went out. We'll lose our fishing. Hey, why can't we take the kid with us?
Up to Drucker's store?
Sure, she'll be just as well off up there as she is down here. He's got a telephone in case of an emergency. We're in a store where anything's handy that we'll need.
That's true. But it's kind of nippy out tonight.
We can ride up in the engine cab with you. I'll set her basket alongside the boiler.
And we can warm her bottle in the firebox.
Gentlemen, as executive chairman of this committee, I'm calling this meeting to order.
Sam, shouldn't we be waiting for Brisbane Sneed?
No, that's not necessary. We already have a quorum.
But as editor of the Pixley Picayune, he represents the opposition.
That's all the more reason for starting without him. Proceed, Sam.
Gentlemen, tonight we're voting on the watershed control bill. And I've drafted a resolution for your approval. Where'd I put that doggone thing? Oh, here we are. Attention, County Commissioners. We hereby notify you of our opposition to Proposition 43B. This measure would divert the watershed from Mount Grundy and prevent it from flowing into Lost Lake, and thereby ruining our wonderful sport of fishing. We also wish to make clear that in the past we have given the county commissioners 2 quarts of mayonnaise, 6 cans of kidney beans, 1 large cucumber. Oh, doggone it, this is Mrs. Frisbee's grocery order. In the past, we have given the county commissioners our full cooperation. All in favor of this resolution signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried, meeting adjourned, deal the cards.
Darling, I don't know what to order.
How about that roast duckling with the wild rice?
I thought of that, but did you see the price?
Does look a little like our zip code. Well, live it up, cuz tomorrow it's back to the lamb stew.
Oh, what are you going to have?
Well, I was thinking about that baby lobster there. Oh, what's the matter?
Did you have to say that?
Lobster?
No, baby.
Honey.
I'm sorry, Steve. I just can't help it.
Well, be reasonable. Where else could the baby possibly get more attention and loving care than where she is right now?
I'll call that. Raise it 5.
Hi, gentlemen.
Hi, Brisbane.
Well, congratulations, Carson. How come you didn't send me a cigar?
Don't just sit there, Wendell. Play.
Come on, break it up, fellas. Let's get on with the meeting, huh?
You're too late, Brisbane. We've already held a meeting.
Your side lost.
What are you fellas trying to pull? As editor of the Pixley-Picayune, I represent the opposing faction, and we intend to be heard.
We were listening, but we didn't hear anything. Okay, if you want to get in the game, otherwise get lost.
Knock it off, Brisbane. You aren't helping our concentration.
Okay, so that's the way you want to play, is it? Well, remember, you asked for it. Come on, Wendell. Get that Tunaville trolley of yours warmed up and get me over to Pixley.
Don't listen to him, Wendell.
But, Joe, I do have a run to make.
Wendell. Come here. Okay, who's calling my raise?
Everybody loves a baby, that's why I'm in love with you. Pretty, whatchamacallit.
Sheriff, do your duty.
Oh, come on, Brisbane. Did you drag me way over here for this? Why, it's nothing but a little game of penny ante.
That's what you think. There was 35 cents in the last pot.
Did you hear that? They're gambling and Carson is missing.
I don't see any money on the table.
They made chips or ginger snaps.
I tell you, Brisbane, I just don't see any incriminating evidence.
All right, Sheriff, if you want to quibble about technicalities, they're not only gambling, but they're contributing to the delinquency of a minor.
What?
Uncle Joe? Uncle Joe? Dr. Craig, I'm so worried. What's happened?
Well, I had an emergency, so I thought I'd better go to the hospital with the patient. You'll be fine, but where's your Uncle Joe and the baby?
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. I've looked all over for them. They're not here.
Well, maybe Steve and Betty Joe came back early.
That's what I thought until I realized that the baby things are still here. There's the cannonball. Let's wave it down. Maybe Wendell will know.
Oh, yes, lady.
I understand that you have a Mr. Joseph Carson in custody.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Right this way.
Hello, Doctor. Hi, Bobby Joe.
Ben, where is Joe? Sheriff, what is the charge against Mr. Carson and these men?
Well, frankly,
Madam, what the sheriff was trying to tell you The reason this gang is incarcerated here is because they broke the law.
Are you a police officer?
Oh, no, I'm just a concerned, public-spirited citizen.
If you were under oath, you couldn't say that.
That's Brisbane Sneed, editor of the Pixley-Picayune.
And the reason we're all in here is because he threatened to blast the sheriff with all kinds of bad publicity if he didn't arrest us.
Well, what brought this about?
We were playing a friendly little game of cards, and he was going to make it look like Drucker's store is a gambling den.
I see. Mr. Drucker, isn't it true that you are also, as they say, in the newspaper game?
Yes, ma'am. Sole owner and managing editor of The Guardian, the voice of Greater Hooterville.
Well, then I imagine you could use a startling expose, too. How about crusading editor sends innocent little baby to jail?
Now, just a moment.
That'd make a great headline.
I could see your editorial. Why does Brisbane Sneed hate babies?
Oh, that'd be a beaut.
You could print it with a border of baby shoes and little red hearts.
Hold it just a moment now.
I'll put it out as an extra.
A 5-star final.
A story like that, it could hit the wire service.
Or even bounce off Telstar.
Sheriff, open that door and get those people out of there.
Sure, Brisbane. Never ignore the power of the press.
Boy, what a night.
How are we ever going to explain this to Steve and Betty Joe?
Well, it's all over. No damage done. Why tell them?
Yeah. Doc, you got a man's head on them shoulders.
Thanks. From now on, I'm going to feel rather peculiar sitting under a hairdryer. I thought I heard something.
Oh! Betty, Joe, and Steve are coming up the path.
Hurry up.
I am. Hi.
Hi.
Oh, welcome home. How was your evening? Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Good. Look, Steve, she's asleep, just as we left her.
And you were worried.
Yeah, silly old me.
Well, it just proves that we can get out once in a while.
You right, dear?
Well, sure, I'm right. Otherwise, our little vine-covered cottage would seem like a jail. What's the matter, Joe?
Oh, nothing. Nothing. I just having a bad dream is all.
Tonight at 8 on the $1 Million Movie, Sophia Loren and Billy D. Williams star in Courage. Now, stay tuned for Green Acres. Next, here on TV 39.